everyone, welcome to my channel, Everyday I'm Mothering. So today I'm going to be talking about the homeschool curriculum that we are going to be using this year for my 7-year-old daughter. She is traditionally what would be a second grader, and we're going to be using Torchlight Level 2. Now, if you don't know anything about Torchlight, I have a general Torchlight video, and you can check that one out here, and I'll link it down below. But it has all the information about what Torchlight is and the philosophy behind it and all that good stuff to help you decide if you want to use Torchlight. But if you've already decided you want to use Torchlight and you're just checking out the levels, in this video, I'm going to dive into Level 2. Now, I do have videos all about Level K and also about Level 1. We've used those in the past, and I'm getting ready to use Level K again this year for my middle daughter. I'm able to talk about in those things I've learned, things I've liked, but I haven't yet used Level 2, so this video isn't going to be quite as in-depth and talking about my experience with it, but I will do that at the end of the year. But for the sake of this video, I thought it would be fun just to get a sneak peek of what it's looking like for us. We are so excited already. We got all of our books in, and we always like to put them all out at the beginning of the year and let the girls take a picture with them and look at them. And Elena is so excited about these books.
I really get to read all of these.
She immediately zeroed in on some of the books that had unicorns on them and a lot of the cartoons and the writing books. So she is looking forward so much to the program, and I am too, because these books look amazing, which all the Torchlight books always look amazing. I get so excited when we get our box in the mail and get to start looking at all of the books that are coming in. And it just looks so amazing that we cannot wait to start Level 2. So just some background on what the Level 2 program actually is. Now, yes, traditionally you would think Level 2, second grade, but it doesn't have to be. I've talked about that with Torchlight, the really great thing with the flexibility the program has. But it is designed for children ages 7 to 9. Now, each of the levels have some type of main topic that they'll follow. So Level 2 is titled Logic and Legends. So the main theme of Level 2 is medieval history. So that's going to be the backdrop of a lot of the other books and material. So again, we're using Curiosity Chronicles, which we really enjoyed in Level 1. But that's your main book where you're traveling through medieval history. Then you're going to have your add-ins with literature and add-ins with science. And the science this year seems to be a little bit more beefed up and more of a structured unit with a bunch of labs, which Elena's going to love. But that's all about Earth and the environment this year. And one thing I did want to share with you, for the Real Science Odyssey, there is a code on the inside of the guidebook listed at the bottom of the book list page, and it's highlighted in yellow. But that's a code you can use to get a discount when you order the Real Science Odyssey book. That code does not actually work anymore because of the and sign in it. The Real Science Odyssey website will no longer accept it. So I just emailed them and asked for the code to use for Torchlight, and they just gave me a different code. I don't think I can share that here since it's part of what you get when you actually buy the Torchlight program. But if it hasn't been updated in her PDF yet, then just reach out to Real Science Odyssey and they will give you the correct code to use. I mentioned this on the Facebook group as well, so she may have changed it in the PDF by now, but if not, and you go to purchase it, just reach out to Real Science Odyssey and they will make sure that you still get that discount. And the music is centered around the orchestra and instruments. And then the art component also kind of ties in with the writing, where you're going to be doing different types of writing. It looks like maybe plays, funny stories, but also cartoons. So the main point of the art piece is graphic drawings with comic books. So Elena is super excited when she saw our blank comic book that she was going to get to fill out. So she's really looking forward to that piece. And then there's also a medieval project book. And I think a lot of those projects are also going to be art-based. Just in the first month or so, I saw they're going to be painting like a knight shield and things like that. So she's going to be so excited to start doing those hands-on art and science projects. And then the underlying theme through all of those is the focus on logic. As always with Torchlight, the approach is asking questions and really getting an understanding through the love of learning, but learning to also ask questions. But I like that it's building in more of this structured logic approach. I didn't actually realize that some of the games listed were considered spines, which in this program means you'll use them week after week. I didn't already purchase them. I thought they were more just supplement games that we could get later. So now that I've actually went through and started planning out our first month, which if you haven't seen that yet, I have this video where I actually sit down and have planned out our entire month and our schedule and structure for it. So you can check that out here. Once I started looking at it, I realized I actually needed the 2 games. I think it's the Logic Land games and Witchy Kitty, maybe those 2. Anyway, so I have those ordered and they're coming in, but I've heard great things about them. So I think Elena's really gonna get to play those Logic games every week. So I was really excited. One of the Logic games actually came in before I posted the video, so I wanted to just jump on here real quick and still show you guys what at least one of them looks like. So it's absolutely so cute. It's this Logic Land, and it's basically kind of like those old Logic games where you had to decide like who went where and in what order, but it's such a cute way of doing it. So you have all these different puzzles. So like in the first one, it gives you the clues like who is in what room, who's next to who comes after who, that kind of thing. So you can determine who is in the entrance. So then you have like your answer. But the way they do it is they use this magnetic board. You just punch out these people. So they're magnets and they pop out. I'm gonna let Elena do it, so I haven't done it yet. But then you just stick them on here and you move them around based on the clues. So you're using your logic clues to figure out at the end who is where. So I'm sure they get harder as they go, but Elena is absolutely gonna love this. And I think you do like 1 or 2 of these a week. And after seeing this one, I cannot wait to see what the cat one looks like. But this is so cute and she is going to love it. So I wanted to share it just in case anybody else is like me and had no idea that this was actually like a spine that you want to get. This game is so cute. And then there's these books where it's 2 truths and a lie, and it sounds like they actually go through it and investigate throughout the week until you come to your conclusion at the end of the week about which one is true through like deductive reasoning. So I think that's gonna be really fun. But then of course, one of my favorite things about Torchlight is what a diverse program it is and how it really touches on a lot of character building and emotions, as well as just, traditional educational pieces. But the rest, it really goes into building your child's character and empathy. So in the program, she actually says, and I'm just gonna read it, I feel like that's probably just the best way to share it, it's her words. But it says, many themes of humanity will be explored in level 2, including love, loss, grief, home, homelessness, friendship, and persistence. So just in hearing that, I'm already excited to touch on some more of those elements with Elena and really build that understanding with her. And I can only imagine that the books talking about these are going to be just as great as the other levels. Now, another component of level 2 is the geography piece. So even in level 1, which was ancient history, you would study history chronologically. You would also look at, obviously the country where each of the events was taking place. So it sounds like with level 2, you're doing a similar thing as we move through medieval history, but she really tried to incorporate map work. And I want to go ahead and just say here that I've already seen some feedback that it wasn't necessarily successful. That was one of the most confusing pieces of the level for the parents to implement, and also that children weren't really responding to it. The author of Torchlight actually addressed this, and she said she included the map work because people had requested it, but that it really went against, her natural thought process about what worked well with children. And she said she's actually going to remove it in the next editions. So I'm going to go with what she has suggested, which is to look at the provided maps, but actually, bring your globe back out, which we used in level K and level 1, and, find the places on the globe and really look at it from that perspective, rather than trying to do all of the map work with the drawing and coloring. That sounds like it was just confusing and not really effective. So I didn't even print those out separately. I have them in my guidebook, and I'll probably print them out just as a reference point for Elena, but we aren't going to do that piece. We're just going to stick with the globe work, and I think that will work fine for us. So also with level 2, there's another yearly project that I printed out, and it is this Becoming a Bard. And this looks like it's going to be really fun, where she's getting to create a story and illustrating it throughout the year. And then the other thing that I printed out separately was this Hypatia Evans, and it looks like it's a medieval mystery. So it's a book that they're going to read through, and I'm not sure if it has some activities or not, but I did print these 2 out separately. And if you haven't seen it yet, I do have a video here where I talk about exactly what I printed for level 2, how I printed it, what I get printed separately, and what company that I use. And you could use that for any levels, but this one specifically is for level 2. Now level 2 does also have that vocabulary spell book again, like level 1 did, but we ended up honestly not really using it much after the first couple of weeks. So I didn't even print it out for this year, but it is included in case it's something you enjoyed from level 1. So Torchlight does have to be supplemented with an English and math program, and we use Right Start Math, which you can see more about here. And we also use Logic of English, which you can also check out here. But even with that, so this year Torchlight does actually include a grammar element. And it looks like Elena will be doing something with literature quotes and pulling them from the lit books that we're reading and looking at the grammar components of them using one of the spine books. So I think that's a really neat addition as well. And it looks like we're also continuing with the Pantomime Poetry from level 1, just where they memorize a poem earlier in the week and then assign movements to, really act out the poem. And they're supposed to be large movements where you cross your body or up and down. And then they memorize the poem and perform it throughout the week, which is a piece my girls really enjoyed. So I'm glad to see we'll be doing it again this year. That's just a general overview on what level 2 is looking like, our initial thoughts and seeing the curriculum and the books. And we are really excited about it. I'll be updating, throughout the year how everything's going for us. And then at the end of the year, I'll do a more in-depth video and review like I've done with the other levels. But if you're using level 2, let me know when you're starting and what you're thinking about it so far. And of course, if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more videos coming up and I have a great homeschool playlist, a lot of information that you can also check out. Bye everyone.